Dear friends, today we are talking about the nervous system of Squaliodon. Now in the nervous system, we have to study only the brain as per syllabus decided by or implemented by Savitribai Phule Pune University. Now in this case, we have to consider what the nervous system is. Nervous system is controlling and coordinating system of the body. What the definition tells us that the nervous system controls all the system inside the body, as well as it brought about the coordination in between various systems. This is called controlling and therefore coordinating system in the body. It controls and coordinates the systems present inside the body. Now, nervous system consists of three regions: central nervous system, peripheral nervous system, and autonomous nervous system. Among them, we have to consider only central nervous system, in that only the brain of Squaliodon. Central nervous system, why the name is given? Because it is located centrally of the organism. Brain, spinal cord, which consists of brain and spinal cord, and located centrally in the body of organism, so called central. Why called peripheral? Because from this central nervous system, some of the nerve arise and ganglions are present, so it forms a peripheral part of this nervous system. It means it is present periphery to the central nervous system. That means nerves and ganglions of peripheral nervous system are present at the periphery of brain and spinal cord, so called peripheral. And autonomous in the sense, irrespective of the brain, it can take its decision, so called autonomous nervous system. Now we have to talk about the brain only in the central nervous system, isn't it? So what the brain is? The brain is a part of central nervous system, main part of central nervous system, present in the skull. In case of Squaliodon, it is present in the cartilaginous skull located in the head region. It is covered by certain structures or certain membranes. They are called pia mater and dura mater. So outer one is dura mater, inner one is pia mater, and these are called as meninges of the brain. What they are called? Meninges. So what we have studied up till now? Nervous system controlling and coordinating and coordinating system. Coordinating. Then brain is covered by pia mater and dura mater. Dura mater. So these are the covering of the brain for its protection. Skull protect the brain, no doubt, but this membrane, additional membrane, also to the brain have, and they protect the brain very well. They are called pia mater and dura mater, and these covering of the brain are called meninges. What they are called? Meninges. So in short note they ask, or for 1 mark, what are meninges? Meninges of the brain. Meninges of the brain are the covering of the brain. Meninges, covering of the brain. Meninges, meninges of the brain are the coverings, protective membrane of the brain which can protect the brain very well. Now brain has 3 divisions again: forebrain, midbrain and hindbrain. We will describe and study these regions one by one with the help of diagram. Now I will draw the diagram of the brain. Suppose this is the brain of Squaliodon like this. I draw the diagram in this manner, brain of Squaliodon. So this is what brain of Squaliodon I will draw the diagram here, brain of Squaliodon like this. So this is what a brain. brain of skull. I will draw the brain. So I am drawing the brain like this. Brain of skull like this. So this is what as I. So brain of skull. Like this. So this is what a dorsal view of brain. What it is? A dorsal view of the brain like this. Dorsal view of the brain. Now these are called this brain is divided into, as I told you, forebrain, midbrain and hindbrain region. Forebrain, hindbrain, midbrain and hindbrain region. So these are olfactory lobes like this, olfactory lobes by this way. Now, what are the parts of the brain? This is known as cerebrum. What is this? Cerebrum. In dorsal view, cerebrum. What is this? Optic lobes. What are they? Optic lobes. They are called as optic lobes. Then this is called as crura cerebri. Cerebri. This is medulla oblongata. Medulla oblongata. Medulla oblongata. Medulla oblongata, like this, medulla oblongata. And on this, one more thing that I want to add here, this is what? The cerebellum, like this, cerebellum. Cerebellum, in this manner, cerebellum. In this manner, like this, cerebellum. So, this portion of the brain is called cerebellum. I have labeled here, cerebellum. 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 So this is what a dorsal view of brain. Dorsal view. I write here dorsal view of the brain. Dorsal view of the brain. Now what it consists of? It consists of these are olfactory lobes. Olfactory lobes. Then these are called olfactory sacs. Sacs. These are olfactory lobes. They are called olfactory lobes. Then these are called olfactory peduncles. 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 Okay? Olfactory peduncles. Now, these are therefore the different parts of the brain. What the forebrain consists of? Forebrain region. What it consists of? It consists of olfactory lobes. What it consists of? Olfactory lobes. It also consists of olfactory peduncles. Peduncles. It also consists of cerebrum. 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 So these are the part of forebrain. Then midbrain, like this, midbrain. What it consists of? It consists of a optic lobes only, and hindbrain. Sorry, one more thing. Midbrain also, forebrain also consists of diencephalon, cephalon. We will go for midbrain. What the midbrain consists of? Midbrain consists of only the optic lobes. Only the optic lobes. Optic lobes, okay? And hindbrain. What it consists of? Hindbrain consists of a medulla oblongata and cerebellum. So cerebellum and medulla oblongata. Medulla. And here we have written medulla oblongata. Medulla oblongata. So these are the parts coming under three divisions of the brain. Brain has usual three divisions: forebrain, midbrain and hindbrain. Forebrain, second that is midbrain, and third that is hindbrain. Forebrain consisting of olfactory lobes, peduncles, olfactory peduncles, cerebrum and diencephalon. Midbrain consists of optic lobes, hindbrain consisting of cerebellum and medulla oblongata. Medulla oblongata, okay? Now, for this purpose, we have to describe this matter. Now, if you consider the forebrain consisting of, as I told you, olfactory lobes, like this. What they consisting of? Olfactory lobes. They are bilobed lobes. Means what? They have two such lobes, like this. Bilobed. They are bilobed. They have two lobes. Each olfactory lobe on each side has two lobes, like this. So olfactory lobes are bilobed lobes and present at the tip of olfactory peduncle. What is the role of peduncle? Role of peduncle, that at its tip olfactory lobes are present. Now this is known as cerebrum. Cerebrum is undivided portion. It doesn't have formed cerebral hemispheres. But on the dorsal side it shows such a type of body, and this body is called pineal body. Pineal body, like this. Pineal body. Now, this cerebrum is undivided, therefore a pineal body is present, and this pineal body is present or is coming from the roof of diencephalon. Now, pineal body has the function to denote the environmental, has to detect the environmental changes. Now, a diencephalon is not shown in the diagram because it is hidden under the excessive growth of this cerebellum. Okay? So, therefore, the cerebellum is undivided. The olfactory peduncles are there, olfactory lobes are there. Cerebellum is undivided into a cerebral hemisphere, and this cerebellum, behind the cerebellum, a triangular portion is present, like this I will show by dotted line. This portion is known as diencephalon. This is therefore a diencephalon portion, like this, diencephalon. But it is hidden under the excessive growth of this cerebellum. From the roof of diencephalon, this pineal body arises, finger-like body arises, that is called pineal body. Now, what are the functions? Functions of olfactory lobes is to provide nerve to olfactory sac, like this, olfactory sac. Function of cerebrum is control all involuntary actions. Function of pineal body is to detect the environmental changes, such as light, temperature, etc. What is the function of diencephalon? From the diencephalon, from its roof arises a pineal body, and on the diencephalon, anterior choroid plexus is present. Right here, anterior choroid plexus. Plexus in the sense network. Plexus is present, that is called anterior choroid plexus. It is the network of blood vessel and can give the blood supply to the forebrain region. So that anterior choroid plexus is present on this diencephalon. Now if you go for the midbrain now, forebrain, after that midbrain consisting of optic lobes, and they are essential for what purpose? For the purpose of vision, so called optic lobes. Hindbrain consisting of cerebellum, this is cerebellum, and medulla oblongata. Cerebellum is excessive developed because it is center for muscular coordination. It controls the movement of muscle. It can control the balance of the body, and fishes has to maintain the balance of the body in the water during the time of swimming, and therefore this lobe which we call as a cerebellum is vastly developed. Not only this, it is divided into such a three lobes. This is one lobe, like this. This is another lobe. So in all, these are called as cerebellum. This is middle lobe, and middle lobe is called vermis. It is called as a vermis. It is referred as a vermis. So I label here vermis. What is vermis? It is middle lobe. So vermis. This middle lobe is called vermis. And apart from this vermis, these are two lateral lobes. One from right side and another from left side. So in all there are three lobes to this cerebrum have. Medulla oblongata is the next portion after the cerebrum, is the next portion of hindbrain, medulla oblongata. It continues into a spinal cord. The medulla oblongata can control all the functions, vital functions such as respiration, such as circulation, and so on. Heartbeat, these are controlled by medulla oblongata. So this is also you. Brain, as I told you, brain is protected by such a covering. Suppose these are two types of covering, that parameter and dura mater. So this is, suppose these are the covering, protective covering called as meninges. This is one membrane and this is another membrane. Try to understand here. This is another membrane. A protective membrane of the brain called as a meninges. Okay. After that we will go for a ventral view. What is the ventral view consisting of? As I told you here, the ventral view like this. I will draw here ventral view of the brain. So this is cerebrum, like this, cerebrum. From anterior lateral side arises such a from the cerebrum arises such a olfactory peduncle. It has bilobal lobes, as I told you earlier. Bilobal lobes means having two lobes by this way. And on this lobe what is present? Olfactory sacs are present like this. These are olfactory sacs by this way. Olfactory sacs. In this manner olfactory sacs are present. Then these are the optic lobes like this. This is one optic lobe. This is another optic lobe. They are large. Optic lobes are large by this way. Optic lobes. Then this is what? A medulla oblongata. Like this, medulla oblongata. This is what? Ventral view of the brain. Now at ventral view of the brain, there is one neuropore at mid ventral side of the cerebrum. This is cerebrum portion. Cerebrum. This is called olfactory peduncle. This is called olfactory lobes, and these are called olfactory sac. Now from this arises a nerve, like this nerve. It has ganglion. Each nerve has a ganglion. These nerves are called terminal nerve. What they are called? Terminal nerve. And this terminal nerve provide additional nerve supply to the olfactory sacs, like this, to the olfactory sacs. Olfactory sacs are provided from olfactory lobes, no doubt. But in addition to that, from this terminal nerve also goes to olfactory sac, because Pollodon has good sense of smell. Then what is this? A optic lobes. These are seen from this side, optic lobes. On diencephalon, floor of diencephalon, there is one such a lobe called, this is what? A hypophysis. So this lobe is called infundibulum. This is called hypophysis. Followed by two additional lobes like this, in this manner. These additional lobes, they are present, and these lobes are called as a saccus vasculosus and inferior lobe. They are called what? They are called inferior lobe, like this. These are called inferior lobe. I write here inferior lobe and saccus vasculosus. These are additional lobes on the on the ventral side of diencephalon. Besides this is what medulla oblongata, and it continued into a spinal cord. So by this way, this is known as a ventral view of brain. Ventral view of a brain. So by this manner, or in this manner, we have finished here dorsal and ventral view of brain. Sometimes they ask for the diagram, that draw the diagram of dorsal and ventral view of the brain. During next lecture, we will consider the cavities of the brain. Cavities of the brain. Okay.